Imagine you are at an all-you-can-eat buffet, eyeing a steaming tray of mashed potatoes swimming in gravy. Unable to resist, you heap your plate high, thinking, if I were someone else, I would be thrilled with this mountain of gravy. You proudly return to your table, convinced you've made a meal anyone would envy. Meanwhile, your friend, who despises soggy potatoes, watches in silent horror. And there it is, the golden rule in action, and possibly in trouble. This little dining drama illustrates the delightful paradox at the heart of one of humanity's oldest and most famous moral principles. Treat others the way you want to be treated. On paper, it sounds flawless. In practice, things get slippery faster than a gravy-soaked spoon. The Golden Rule's ancient passport. The Golden Rule is not just old, it's ancient. Like road dinosaurs to work ancient. Somehow, this simple idea has shown up in nearly every culture on Earth. 4,000 years ago in Egypt, scribes were already writing, "Don't do to others what you hate." In India, the Mahabharata advised, "If you don't like it, don't dish it out." China's Confucius dropped his version, "Do not do to others what you do not want them to do to you," pretty much the world's first etiquette class. Judaism added, "Love your neighbor as yourself." Christianity amped it up, "Do to others what you would have them do to you." Islam joined in, with Prophet Muhammad teaching, "True belief means loving for others what you love for yourself." Buddhism, Jainism, and indigenous traditions also chimed in like humanity's first viral meme that everyone just keeps reposting. The Interfaith Council even calls it the most universally agreed-upon rule ever, more popular than pizza toppings debates. Why has it lasted so long? Why has the Golden Rule stuck around for thousands of years, crossing religions, languages, and pretty much every border except maybe Antarctica? Well, part of it comes down to our wiring. Turns out, humans are basically born with a tiny "that's not fair" alarm. You can see it in toddlers who lose their minds when someone takes their toy, proof that a sense of justice kicks in before we can even spell justice. Kristen Monroe from UC Irvine says the Golden Rule taps straight into this built-in moral GPS. It helps us imagine how others feel, sort of like emotional Wi-Fi. No complicated philosophy degree required. Leadership guru John Maxwell once said the Golden Rule is a moral compass anyone can use even if you've never read a single ethics textbook. It's simple, effective, and does not come with a 200-page user manual. At its heart, the Golden Rule is just good old-fashioned decency. Hey, treat people how you want to be treated. It keeps societies running smoothly, friendships intact, and family dinners slightly less awkward when good intentions go awry. For all its wisdom, the Golden Rule can backfire if you take it a bit too literally. Picture this: you love surprise birthday parties, balloons, confetti, everyone shouting surprise, pure joy. So you throw one for your introverted friend who now looks like they're about to faint and file for emotional damages. Oops, that's where some ethicists suggest upgrading to the Platinum Rule. Treat others as they want to be treated. Because shockingly, not everyone wants what you want. Empathy isn't about cloning your feelings, it's about actually considering theirs. In fields like medicine, this becomes even more important. A doctor might suggest a treatment they would personally choose, but that might not fit the patient's values or risk tolerance. The stakes are slightly higher than surprise parties. Legal systems have the same dilemma. A judge who sympathizes a little too much with the defendant might hand out sentences that leave the rest of society saying, "Wait, what?" Philosopher Daniel Duxbury and others warn that a one-size-fits-all approach to the Golden Rule just does not work in our wonderfully weird, complicated world. As the ever-quotable George Bernard Shaw once quipped, "Do not do unto others as you would have them do unto you." Their tastes may not be the same. Just because you enjoy skydiving doesn't mean grandma wants a parachute for her birthday. In some extreme cases, people with very warped ideas have even twisted the Golden Rule to justify awful behavior. Well, I'd be fine with this, so obviously they will be too. Yeah, no. What modern psychology reveals? Modern psychology has chimed in to say, well, it's complicated. Jonathan Haidt's moral foundations theory points out that while pretty much everyone likes fairness, care, and reciprocity, not every culture organizes their moral menu the same way. Some put loyalty, authority, or purity at the top of the list, while others are all about equality and individual rights. It's like different societies ordering from the same restaurant, but picking very different entrees. The World Values Survey, basically a giant opinion poll of over 100 countries, consistently finds that fairness and reciprocity show up everywhere. But how people define and apply them depends a lot on where they live and what's important to them. In 2019, Oxford researchers studied 60 societies and found 7 moral principles that most humans seem to agree on. Among them, reciprocity was a global favorite, kind of like the moral version of pizza, loved everywhere, even if the toppings vary. Even hunter-gatherer societies, living far from Wi-Fi and reality TV, rely on reciprocal behavior for basic survival. You share your food today, I share mine tomorrow. Teamwork makes the dream work. So yes, the spirit of the golden rule is pretty universal, but how it plays out depends on the cultural, social, and personal flavor of each community. One size doesn't always fit all, especially when it comes to morals or hats. The golden rule as a moral draft. Many philosophers suggest we think of the golden rule less like a law carved in stone and more like a helpful rough draft. It's a great starting point, encouraging fairness and empathy, but real-life ethics often require a few edits. Instead of assuming everyone shares our tastes, we're better off practicing what psychologists call mindful empathy, actually asking people what they want. For example, you love spicy food, ghost peppers? Delicious. But your dinner guest? One bite, and they are calling the fire department. The solution? Just ask, do you like spicy food? Boom, instant upgrade from golden rule to basic human decency. Life is full of these funny little golden rule misfires. Like holding doors open. You think you're being polite, but now the person behind you has to sprint awkwardly like they're competing in the door Olympics. Or the classic four-way stop showdown, both drivers waving each other on, neither moving, locked in an infinite loop of politeness until someone gives up or flips a coin. The point is, while the golden rule gets us thinking about others, real empathy means checking in, not assuming. Because sometimes being nice isn't about treating others like you, it's about finding out what actually works with them. What the latest research shows. As of 2025, the research is in, and the golden rule is still holding strong with a few footnotes. The World Values Survey's latest data confirms that fairness and reciprocity are still crowd favorites around the world, basically the Beyoncé of moral values. But exactly how people express these values? That's where things get a little more creative, depending on culture, society, and sometimes even family traditions. Oxford's cross-cultural study continues to find that reciprocity is one of those rare things humans seem to universally agree on, like naps or complaining about the weather. Meanwhile, modern psychologists are encouraging us to upgrade from basic golden rule to something a bit more sophisticated: perspective-taking empathy. Instead of just imagining how you would feel, it's about actually learning how they feel. Revolutionary concept. Ask questions, listen, adjust. Who knew? In fields like healthcare, education, and counseling, professionals are now trained to go beyond "what would I want?" and focus on individualized care and cultural sensitivity, because one person's helpful advice might be another person's worst nightmare. In short, the golden rule still works, but like your phone's operating system, it benefits from regular updates. And that's the fascinating story of the golden rule: simple, ancient, universal, but with a few hilarious twists and modern upgrades along the way. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ethics, culture, and yes, even Grady mishaps, make sure to hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe.